we start with prayers. Let's welcome Mr. Andrew.
Thank you. Let's pray. Father Lord, in Jesus' name, we come before you this evening with thanksgiving in our heart. And Lord, as we start, we commit each activities, Lord, all the plans for today, we commit them into your hands. And now I'm going to invite Teresa to come and welcome us. Thank you.
I'm just going to talk a little bit about Bridge the Gap and also about community building. But before I do that, I would like to welcome you so much to Trivia, our home, and to today's event. Now, community building was started, this is our second year. We've had 3 successful programs. Our first program, the first program we started was Save Our Daughter program, which is a program that works to advocate for women. It advocates for girls against female circumcision, and we've been very successful. We've gone to many institutions. We've gone to nearly all the universities in this country, talking to social workers, community workers, nurses, doctors. We've gone to service provider. We've spoken to so many people. And then we had another program working with senior citizens. And in this program, we supported many senior citizens. We had retreats, we had barbecues, we visited people. It was a 6-month program, and it was another very successful program. And then we have this Bridge the Gap event, which is partly sponsored by Multicultural Victoria Commission, so I want to acknowledge them too. And what we want to do, what we want to achieve in this event is create dialogue, is open channels of communication, is actually having conversation between the young people and the older people. We know that our very many young people, because of so many issues and everything that is happening in the country, sometimes get into situations where the lines of communications are not so open. So the idea of this program is to create conversation, and we are going to be doing that today. We're going to have a Q&A session where young people will be speaking out their heart and asking questions, and we'll be having conversation. We'll be generating questions in the table that we are going to pose to the panelists, and basically we'll be having a lot of conversation. The event today, the Bridge the Gap event, is also about celebrating young people. Yeah? So what we are saying is that our young people have a lot of talents, and you're going to see some of those talents today. So this is a one-day event, yeah? But for us, it is not a one-day event. We start the conversations today, and the conversations continue. So it's also about making connections. So today, as we celebrate this date, as we talk about Bridge the Gap, start making those connections. Connect with someone. Introduce yourself to someone. If you are my age, connect with young people. If you are a mom, a dad, reach some young people. I want to also acknowledge our president, community build president, Dr. Sami, who is sitting here.
It's my birthday, it's my birthday, I must spend my money. It's my birthday, it's my birthday, I must spend my money. It's my birthday, I'ma live my fantasy. It's my birthday, I'ma live my fantasy.
We're having life journey and achievement speech, and I'd like to welcome our first guest, Jeff.
I would like to share my personal experience in Juna, from the way from South Sudan to Australia. I was born at war. when my country had war. And it was really very hard for my foreign to be with me. I have separated with them. So I traveled all the way to Ethiopia. On the flight, it is really hard. I traveled with a lot of people whom I know from my village until I reached Ethiopia. And during the flight, I suffer from thirst, anger. I've seen people being robbed. In Ethiopia, I went to refugee camp. The life in refugee camp is very hard. I know maybe none of you have been in refugee camps, but a lot of you may not know. The food you get is only lasts for 15 days. The other 15 days is up to you to find a way out. The life in refugee camp is a survival. That is the message I want to give you. I want to share with you. I also started my education there. From year 1 to year 12. All my life, I've been in refugee camp. I went there when I was 6 years old. In the camp, I got my lovely wife with the refugee camp. I managed to sit for year 12 exam. Then I passed. I got a job with the Save the Children in Sweden. Until the time I got a settlement for us here. I waited for 5 years to come here. 5 years. When you try to settle yourself here, it's really hard. So you got to know people who can help you around, you know. And then it was like, you know, like starting life from, you know, you become like a child. You're starting, you know, to grow. So from there, I don't know what to do. I did 500 hours, you know, everyone do. And then I start doing, you know, doing IT, certificate 4 in IT, and then I did certificate 4. From there, I decided to work, to do something. Now I locate my parents. I know where they are, and I have to support them. I have to go to school and support them. So now I went doing work. I start from cleaning, then I work in Domit, PRT, where one of my friends here is also working. Mark is also working there. My heart is like, why would I keep working? It is good for me, you know, to further my education so that I get another job. And maybe also I can be a role model to other friends. Then I quit that job. I came here. I went to Korea, Australia. That's where I met that lovely lady, Tricia. Then Tricia became my educator in Korea, Australia. So I finished my dual diploma in counseling and community service. And then before then, I asked Tricia, what should I do? Because now I got this, but I don't know where to go. What would I do next? Because this time I can get a job, but still I want to further my education. And I'm not sure what should I do. Then Tracy advised me. She said, Jaffa, I think you can do something that you really like. I say, well, I want to be a psychologist. I want to study psychology. She told me, Jaffa, it is good if you can do social work. Because social work you can do counseling, and at the same time you can do other management and case management and all these kind of things. But with psychology, it will be a little bit hard. It can take you a bit of time, to qualify, and take you some years, and still you have to get an accreditation and all this thing. Then I said, well, then I took her advice. I went to Victoria Uni. And before I finished my school, I took her advice, I enrolled. While I was still studying this, I also started part-time in Victoria Uni. I finished first years while I was also doing my dual diploma in Korea as well. Now I'm going for third years, which is 2 years more. And that's the thing I want to share with you. It's really hard journey from my village to refugee camp, from refugee camp to Australia. So the message I want to send is that, you know, when you connect with good people, you know, they tell you what to do. They advise you. And when you take the advice, then you find a door. Now I find a door for myself. I know where I'm going. And that is it. Thank you very much.
Our next presenter, all the way from Uganda, Peter P.
Uganda stand for the Union of Greater African State, but it's a short acronym for the name that we have for the organization. Really wonderful seeing people coming together for that very important title of bridging the gap. So it need all of us to bridge that gap. I came all the way from southeast, nearly Dandenong, and some of us also came from that very far. We find our way is a bit far from there, coming from this way. And, but it tells our commitment too, because we share all things that are happening together through network. Whatever happening here can influence the other side. And whatever happening on the other side can also help people over here. It's just a very wonderful of bridging that gap between us here and over there, and see how we can work together to help our young people, family, that are very core of our existence as a community. Uganda has been working very hard, closely as well, not only with the members that we represent, but also with the other community organizations that do similar thing of enhancing the capacity of people that need support. There are a lot of things that need us to work together. And for us to achieve this, we have been working closely. The area that we cannot afford to address, then we seek help somewhere else. And that helps us to address some of the issues. Our partnership with the community being in terms of what they have been doing, we are part of the core community organization based in Victoria. We would love to work and continue working together to help our young people as a voice for the community at the level of African community, as a different organization. We can do that, and we are committed to continue with that sort of advocacy, but also serving the community, bridging the gap between the Africans, but also with the mainstream sort of service providers to be heard and be supported as well. I wonder if one of the young guys would say something about what could really be important in supporting young people in such an event like this.
My name is Yoy. Well, I'm not prepared for this, as you can see. Yeah, I mean, coming to such an event, it's not something we normally do, but hey, it's, you know, people coming together, seeing new people, meeting new people. I don't see what's wrong with that, but hey, other than that, hey, I mean, speaking from a young person, you know, I really think it's great to, I mean, for a young person to be able to do something that is great, you have to see it from the person which is above, upper, the person that you can see as a role model. If you see that person like he's doing something that is inappropriate, but then again, you know, will make you think that I'm going to do something good. Because he's the person up there I'm supposed to be following him as a leader. If he's doing something great for the community, I don't see why not I should be doing the same thing for the community as well.
I'm just proud that I do give to my community. So one of the things that we are actually struggling with is to put to government of Victoria what are the issues we are actually facing as Africans. So we have developed with the other people, Charles is one of them and the other people that are not here, what is known as the issues paper. This issues paper was handed over to the minister about 3 weeks ago, about a month. It summarizes a lot of things. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join us and work together. United we stand, divided we fall. Thank you.
Most people think success it can be measured. It's monetary value. Like, where do you work? How much do you earn? How many properties do you have? And things like that. But for me, being a success is being authentic, being yourself. Who are you in front of people? Who are you behind closed doors? Are you achieving your goals regardless of your situation? And this going back to a couple of years ago, I left Kenya and I went to the States for university. And as you might all know, it can be challenging moving from Kenya to a first world country. There are challenges in the way people speak, the foods, the way people behave. So it was a challenging time, but fortunately I had a good support system. I had good friends who I could go talk to, people who knew exactly what I was going through. So it's very easy to lose your identity and to lose focus. So you have to be confident and you have to have a vision as to what you're trying to achieve. There'll be so many distractions, everything is new, it's a new culture, your parents are not there to watch you. So the decisions that you make and the people that you surround yourself with can really impact on your life.
I'll quickly introduce ourselves again just in case you've forgotten. So I'm Patricia, we've got Esther right here, Josh, Stella and Andrew.
How do I deal with school or college? I must say this is a tough question, but we'll try to give the best shot we can. So dealing with school or college. So at some point we've all gone through school or college, and I think as an individual there are some things that before we start any journey we always have to think about what is the end product of this journey. So school, I think it's a major journey or milestone in most of our life. So one of the most encouraging things as a person is you should look at what is the end product of me going through this journey, getting my education, and what is it going to change me as a person. And we're very advantaged and lucky to have many people in the community who've gone through school, and that's definite, and it speaks to itself that that journey is fruitful. So having in mind, having an end product that the journey is fruitful, so that should be your driving goal at the start. And while in the journey, what are some of the things you can do is have a plan. So if you don't plan anything, you plan to fail. So for instance, if you have a 4-year degree course or college program, I think one of the best things to do is to plan in the 4 years. What am I going to do? What does it entail me to be a student, that good student? Or
the next question. There's someone who asked, why should I learn mom's language? I think I can see all the faces of young people in this room, and I'm pretty sure most of them have been told by their moms, you need to learn this language. I think as a mom, I have told my kids they need to learn my language. And what I can say is, as most of us parents, those of us who are parents here, we came to this country, English was not our first language. So we learned English, but the kids we have, most likely their first language is English. But we try to teach them our language. First of all, it's easier for us to give you instructions as children with our language, because that's the language we understand most. And then secondly, it gives you a form of identity. It doesn't matter where you go, it doesn't matter which country you go to, that identity of who you are, that language actually tells a lot about where you come from, tells a lot about you. It's a good way. And most of us at one point or another, we do go and visit our countries as well. So when you go and visit your country, there's a form of identity you get. I mean, you get to bond with people a bit better if you can actually speak their language. And with time as well, as you grow older and you start interacting with people from all over the world as well, there's a form of alienation you experience if you can't speak your own language as well. So it helps, it's a very good form of communication. It gives you identity and it gives you a feeling of belonging as well. So I would say, yeah, you need to learn your mom's language. Thank you.
The question is it okay to marry from a different culture? Is it okay to marry from a different culture? My thinking is, my answer, I might be wrong or right. We just ask ourselves, what is marriage? According to myself, marriage is a union of two people with a common goal. To bring up your souls, your minds, your body all together. So, I will not say yes or no, but what do we need to look into? We need to look into, the most important thing I will look myself is the spiritual aspect. Because many other times that you can get into marriage with a person who is not like your religion or something else, and at the end of the day you might find yourself in a very bad corner. So another thing you can look into is your communication skills. I don't see how you can marry a person who you cannot communicate with, because communication is the most important thing in marriage. For the years I've been married in marriage life, communication is one of the most important things. Another thing, before you answer your yes or no, is commitment. How committed are you if you get into marriage with a person of a different culture? Because we are being brought up differently, and maybe the things that you learn from your mother or your family, your culture, is different from the other culture. So you need to see how committed will you be when you marry from a different culture. Another thing is, you know yourself, identity. Like one of the partners said, the moment you know yourself, you're gonna know, if I get in a marriage with a different culture, how far will I go? Because until you know yourself, you cannot know the other person. So realize who you are, how you're gonna take life, and from there you can continue. So, and the other thing is, before you get into marriage, you need to know each other. In marriage they say courtship. You can give yourself 1-2 years, because it's not very healthy for you just to know someone today, this occasion, and the next day you're moving together. So give yourself some time together. You court, and with that you can know, is it good for me to go for the rest of my life with this person? So for the question, I will not say yes or no, but it's up to you guys to consider yourself and know if it's good for you. Thank you.
The next question is, how can I build trust with my children as guardians? It does sound a little kind of cliche and corny, but I honestly think that communication is the key to trust. And it's sad to say, but in most African culture, I guess kids are often there to be seen and not heard, as said by Ms. Patricia here. And opinions are often disregarded or belittled. And I think that honestly, this just ultimately destroys communication, and again, thus destroying trust. I think if parents could stop treating children as children, in certain instances, you get what I'm trying to get at this, that you'll definitely see a change. For example, before moving to Australia, my dad had the opportunity of going to Canada. So it was Australia-Canada type thing. At the time, I was, I think, 7. My little sister there was 5. And I have 2 older brothers, they're 4 years older than me. We all had a family meeting, and my dad got all together and was weighed up the pros and cons, and we're what do you guys think we can do? And we were ultimately just oh, which one was hotter? They said Australia, so we're here, okay? Although it does sound kind of funny, I was 7 years old, them involving me like that does give you a sense of, I guess, importance. I do trust my parents a lot. I think it's because they value my opinion in that way, okay? And honestly, I find that if you I guess, stop treating your children as children, you'll find that their communication with you, as well as their trust, will increase and grow. Yeah.
The question that I was going to address is, how do I choose my career? This is an interesting one for me because the career that I chose was totally different to what my parents wanted me to. So I work in the building industry. My dad's a veterinarian and my mum is a social worker. When I was growing up, they had their own sort of ideas of what I should be doing, and in all honesty, I think you just do what you love. The thing is, when you get into a career, it's something that you're going to have to do Monday to Friday, 5 days a week, or depending on the career. But if you're going to be putting all your time into something that you don't love, you're not going to be good at it first things first, and you're not going to be able to shine the way that you should, and you're not going to enjoy it, so there's no point doing it. So first things first, do what you love, and that makes a huge difference. And then I think I had one more point. And yes, so this was actually brought up by a few of the panel members. There's a lot of time that we have in this world. You don't have to have one career. So have that flexibility, and also don't put yourself in a box. There's so many things that you can do. So I wouldn't freak out about it. Even going through year 12, like there's heaps of times that I thought, oh my gosh, I want to be an engineer. I want to be an architect. It was all still building related, but I wasn't exactly sure.
Our next question was, I think this question is best for Teresa, but I'll try. What does a bridge gap look like? And what is the end product? What is the end goal? So I'll start by just giving you a small background. So the smallest unit we have in the community is the family. And there are several gaps within a family, and it could be financial, social, cultural, or ethics. And these gaps, they still spill over into the larger community, your neighbors, and the country at large. So I think a bridge gap, what it looks like is total confusion in a family, no love, needs not being met. So the idea of community being and part of this function is bridging that gap, is that if we could live in a community or family or society that embraces social harmony, economic growth for everyone and happiness, and just democracy in terms of opinions and political views. And also, very most important is technical. And when I say technical, it's just embracing what each and other person loves and what they enjoy to do, and just accommodating each other and living as brothers and sisters.
I'm overjoyed just to see so many people enjoying themselves, and to see a lot of talents. Our young people, right from very little ones to teenagers, and people just showcasing their special talents. At the moment we have the fashion show going on, and just to see the happiness in people's faces just makes my day. I think this is a really successful event for Community Beam. Our heart for Community Beam is to get stronger families and stronger communities, and see the community come together, so diverse from different countries, different cultures, seeing them coming together, celebrating culture, encouraging young people was really good. So really, really good. And I think for me the highlight was also the Q&A, the questions that were asked. Young people asked questions that cannot be asked anywhere else, and the panelists did very well. I was really pleased that actually bridged the gap. We've achieved what we wanted to achieve, creating dialogue, encouraging conversation. It's apparent from the questions that were generated that those questions were debated, and the answers were well researched and very well answered. So I'm a very happy person. My name is Teresia Kanyi, and I'm the Secretary of Community B. And I'm also the project manager, currently managing Safe Our Daughter program and Bridge the Gap program.
Oh, that's good.
My name's Dr. Sami Karidi. I am the president of Community Beam. Community Beam is a community organization that was formed to look after the social affairs of colored people, that is people who are culturally and linguistically diverse. There's a lot of Africans who actually belong to Community Beam because Africa has many nations, about over 50 nations, and therefore we all have our diversity in languages. But here in Australia, we welcome everybody else who has a culture, who has, you know, a language that may be different from English. At the same time, we always say when Australians come to us, like the ones who are with us in this event, they become cowed in that they are actually experiencing a different culture. If they visit Kenya, they visit Nigeria, they visit China, they will be there as culturally, linguistically diverse people. So Community Beam actually welcomes all multitudes of people who belong to other cultures, but who believe that culture, maybe religion and diversity is important to the world. So there's a lot to learn from each other, and we're glad to all those people who attended this event today. It was about the youth. It's called the Bridge the Gap event. So thank you all who attended. We are looking forward to having the video from African Media Australia, and therefore you'll be able to follow more from the video. Thank you very much.
My name is Rebecca Mpande. I am a teacher at Hampton Park Secondary College. I teach English as a second language, and then literacy and humanities. I'm very happy tonight and quite privileged to be part of the Community Beam Inc. event, Bridging the Gap. There are a number of highlights, but most importantly, I've been of course impressed with the panel itself. There's been a variety of questions which indicate to me that the African Australian youth has got a number of issues in their life, and then tonight at least some of those questions have been answered. But again, there's been fashion show by RKM, which to me indicates that the young people are talented and they want to show what their talents are, but as well as support each other to, of course, present their positive image to the Australian community as a whole itself. And in this case, it will be really something encouraging to see parents supporting the young people, just displaying their talents, even as they model to the African Australian community. But again, there have been speeches about what we Africans here in diaspora can do with development back home in Africa. And so there's been that encouragement from Dr. Apollo, and encouraging everyone to be part of that.
RKM. Jamaica representing RKM too. The next model, all the way from Sudan, representing RKM. Olives, right. The salsa too, and the model too. Our next model, all the way from Mozambique, Kiabu finest. Yeah. Mozambique in the house too.
Yeah, Jonathan, 5 minutes. Yeah, after this.
Our third model, all the way from Mauritius.
Woke up this morning, breathing. Realized it was you. Oh, so I got a friend and had to tell.